C, and spell it like that. And since then, I've been using it, and wow, Christ, I'm old. That's more than 10 years ago. Jeez, that hurts. Wow. That hurts.
10 whole years. Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. So anyway, listen at you.
Your invite is sitting waiting for you there, brother. We're going into Belshire Beach. We're seeing a lot more of this map lately, which is great.
Right.
I love this map. It's my favorite. It's my favorite map, and I'm getting my favorite matchup now with two amazing players here. I cannot wait.
All right. Speaking of ICQ, Bess Bipson just said, "LOL, ICQ, Jesus God." So there are some people who remember it. Have you noticed? Is it just me? There are like some little gas stations now. Whenever you check out, they have like these sounds that the checkout registers make, and they make the ICQ. Uh-oh. Have you run into that yet?
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, with the uh-oh.
That messes with me every time I hear it, and it makes me flash back to the days of ICQ and using character map to make your name look all funny because you wanted to be cool,
Yeah. Oh man, I remember when ICQ came out. I really, bad things happened to me. I never hung out in like chat rooms on AOL or stuff like that until like my buddy got me into them, and it presented some very interesting situations. And I will never go into another chat room that's not our Justin TV chat or our Battle.net chat again.
Right.
Because there are some weird people out there.
Yeah, and see, it's there's a different breed of weird too. Like chat rooms in particular, like just the phrase chat room has almost completely stopped being in part of our nomenclature, because it's not like that anymore. It's not like you go, oh, I'm going to head over to a website X and I'm going to join my favorite chat room, Super Squirrel Love or whatever, your favorite chat room used to be. It's not like that really anymore, especially with the advent of Justin TV, where you just basically it's chats revolving around whatever event you happen to be participating in or doing. But even now, I'm with you. It's like anything still labeled like the chat room. Yeah, there tends to be some very weird people in that room. So
no, I'll tell you, have you ever heard of chat roulette?
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, that is some pretty wild stuff. I've never been on it personally, but I was watching. I'm a big fan of the Tosh.0 show, and of course he did a segment where he was on, chat roulette, and I found that to be absolutely hilarious.
Oh yeah,
for that.
I've never used chat roulette, and I have absolutely no desire to ever do so because I don't need to see that much dong in a given day. But anyway,
everybody's asking what I'm wearing. ASL. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, ASL 14F Cali U. But
that's right. Well, there's a very specific reason why we don't have the cameras in yet for AC and I. It's so
we can hang out in our undies.
Pants.
Yeah, exactly. We can hang out in our undies and stuff, and you can picture us in like 3-piece Armani suits because our voices are just that magical. But in fact, I'm smoking cigarettes and watching Captain Kangaroo in the background.
Oh,
so.
great word usage. I like that.
Smoking cigarettes and watching Captain Kangaroo. That was a terrible duet. But
that was a terrible duet. Yeah,
we were a little off. So no,
for being a musician, I'm completely tone deaf.
No, it wasn't your voice. It was more that we were completely out of sync. I blame streaming. I blame Skype. It's Skype's fault. Screw Microsoft, right? Everybody hates Microsoft. We can blame everything on Microsoft, and everyone's going to love us. Anyway, RSVP double gassing right out the gate here. He's taking both assimilators right on top of each other, and we see again this cute little Evo chamber. No troll hatch going down for GIC, but look, he's sending the probe out. Just as I say that, he's like, yep, gonna look for the troll hatch. Don't want a troll hatch, it's fine. And now all of a sudden, using the word troll hatch so much makes me think that when this bursts, I want to imagine the little bug here making the me Gusta face. But back down here for RSVP. RSVP's actually blocked the expansion for GNIC with the pylon, and he was throwing down something, now making his cybernetics core down here. Says, that's fine, you got the troll hatch, I'll make a troll cybernetics core just to delay your expansion a little bit longer, bro. How you like that? But I love this, and you see a lot more of this on Belshire Beach than you do anything else. Well, RSVP, there he goes. I was going to say he's got to cancel that pretty soon, but gets it down, deals with the evolution chamber, gets up his expansion. So after all that nonsense, pretty standard look right now in a PVZ with the expansion hatch going down after Zerglings, and the Nexus going down for RSVP after getting the wall up.
Oh yeah, and Gene IC just ran into some luck, ran into a probe, absolutely annihilated it before he had a chance to get close to his base there. And that Scantipede wanted a piece of the action. Was just trying to jump in the Zergling way there. Looks like he was just scaring him off. But now he's just back there in the mineral line. I don't know if he's trying to hide himself or what, but they are the worst hiders ever.
Yeah. There's the speed. There. We saw the wings pop up immediately, and he's barely going to get by just before he can block it off. So he's going to get this small little pack of Zerglings into the mineral line, and we see RSVP doing the cool little mineral trick. By the way, do that, guys. Whenever you're getting harassed and you want to try and get us around, tell them all to go to one mineral patch. They get in a big ball like that, then tell them to attack, and they spread out immediately and get a great surround. But now Gene IC, he's actually doing a pretty good job here. He's picked off a good number of probes, a lot of damage done to the Zerglings, but the Don't Tase Me Bro routine only does so much damage. See, now, he's, if nothing else, forcing his opponent to lose so much mining time. But you can tell it's taking its toll on Gene IC's macro back home, up to 800 minerals with another hatchery on the way. So, but yeah, very effective harassment here out of Gene IC.
Oh yeah, that's great. We've seen a lot of very good harassment out of both him and then RSVP being able to deal with it, and that is the sign of very good pro players right there when they can do the harassment while continuing to go through their whole macro thing. They're not really missing a beat, but they're able to deal with the harassment even if it is annoying.
Gets another probe. I mean, just down the two Zerglings just being so active with it, manages to pick off another probe. This third hatch now for Gene IC about to pop in just a few seconds. The expansion hatch already up, beginning to spread the creep so it can join all these bases. And back home, again, this is very characteristic of him. He expands like a madman behind crazy aggression, but he doesn't tech up or anything. He's got a couple of guys still on gas, but those have just rejoined the gas. They weren't mining for the longest time. But as you pointed out, RSVP, just such a consummate professional, has been managing to just do his own thing while dealing with all this BS going on back at his base.
Oh yeah, you're absolutely right about that, AC. And with him taking that third base right there, that's going to kind of give him like an all-out, kind of dog track kind of opening, because he can just send the entire army out, just boom, right out of the gates, and they'll be able to just pour through the center and then really do some serious damage. I do like the fact that Gene IC is starting to spread that creep a little bit more between his main and his natural. He just needs to start spreading to his third, and right now RSV just spotted that the third is up and running.
Right.
So that's going to give him a good lead into that.
No, absolutely. So, yeah, Gene's looking pretty solid at the moment. But this does remind us a lot of the first game where Gene IC used some crazy harassment, didn't go troll hatch this time, but still poured on some very unorthodox harassment. And then RSVP seems to be behind until all of a sudden he just explodes, and that's exactly what happened last time. And it's all going to come down to the way Gene IC wants to see this match play out. Does he want to play defensive and just stay on three bases and maybe even get aggressive and take this gold? Or does he want to try and get aggressive first and force the issue on his own terms? So I see Gene's already getting up the Roche Warren and 2 Evo chambers, so he looks to be getting the upgrades and go up the tech path at least a little bit. So kind of hard to tell. Robotics facility just finishing up for RSVP right now. We'll see probably the observer go down immediately. Yeah, there we go. And but yeah, it looks like we're gonna have a pretty solid mid game despite all the shenanigans early on.
Yeah, and that's great that they're able to transfer from shenanigans to gameplay, things like that. That's really a lot of fun, And this Overlord just kind of hanging out here, making sure there's going to be no drops or at least maybe he's trying to cover himself in the bushes.
Yeah, one way or the other, right? He's got to find something to do. He's just an overlord. He takes it easy. This third Nexus now about halfway done for RSVP, so he looks to be very macro-oriented, arcing towards the mid-game. And we've seen RSVP play against a lot of Zerg, and he does tend to favor that. He's not one for 2 base all-in pushes. He likes to do everything off of at least 3 bases, and he likes to have clean transitions. And again, he's a player who can definitely do that. One of the best players in North America, bar none.
Oh, yeah. And it's I definitely have to agree with you right there. RSVP does. I want to say PVZ is probably his best matchup because he, although he does well, PvP and PvT, he just seems to just absolutely understand the PVZ concept and just does so much for it. And honestly, if we continue to see more, I mean, over the last couple of days, we've seen a lot of PVZ and a PvP. It's been very hard to find Terrans over the last couple of days. Today we did see a couple, but man, I'll tell you, the PVZ combat is just going to get more and more intense as the games go on. And we see that Gene is going to take a hatch right outside of Cool RSVP's base, just to the left of his gold. That is a very dramatic grab there by him.
Oh yeah. Yep, definitely had that on the cam. He's both players really just want to macro up. It's going to be very easy for RSVP to take his next base as well. The question becomes: is he going to take the gold, or is he going to take the side base over here? I would imagine RSVP may stay on 3 bases for a while and just really look to kick his army production into high gear. The Zerg missile attack level 1 is just now completing, so he's got the upgrade for the groove spines on the Hydralisk, the burrow, and the glial reconstitution on the way, so he's definitely going to be favoring a Roach and Hydralisk mix once again. But the question is, how's it going to match up to whatever RSVP has in store? The Templar Archive's almost finished and Blink about halfway done, so both players teching like mad, but kind of thin on the army side, to be honest.
Oh yeah, and that might be something they're saving for later on in the match. I mean, honestly, we're still at the 15-minute mark, and now we see a huge push here by Gene.
Wouldn't say it's a huge push, but definitely one that's going to cause some problems if it's not dealt with adequately. RSVP going to shut me up forthwith, though. He's got such a high sentry count. That's so essential for dealing with any kind of Zerg aggression, not necessarily just for Zerglings, but even Hydras and Roaches. And I'm not liking this push at all by Gene IC. He's forcing the issue well before I think he needs to. It looks like he's trying to hit a timing that he kind of set out in his head right around 150 supply. But RSVP, I think, unless he just screws the pooch violently, is going to be able to handle this pretty easily. Stalker's warping in now off of these gateways. He does manage to take down 1 gateway, so not a complete loss on this attack. Takes down a 2nd gateway, and this is almost like a harassment-based Hydralisk push. He's not looking to end the game, but he wants to slow his opponent down. And we've had a couple of Zerglings skirting around the front here. They were trying to go to work, and he actually managed to pick off, it looks like, 2 gateways in the middle of all that at the front of RSVP's base. So he's actually doing real well with this aggression. The engagement continues down in the shallows of Belshire Beach. A lot of force fields have gone up, and RSVP having to pull back. The Hydralisk just doing so much damage with their +1 to damage and those groove spines, so continuing to push, and all of a sudden, this Hydralisk ball has gotten a little bit more intimidating, Red Mage. The Stalker count is not being replenished the way it should. Psionic Storm's on the way, but that takes forever, and it's only about maybe a 5th of the way done. The Hydralisk's continuing to rain down death and spines here on the Stalkers, and really just maul and chew on this base to death. It's like being nibbled to death by ducks.
Oh yeah, and they're doing such a great job. They eliminated all those pylons who are there. They briefly supply block RSVP. They've shut down the 2 cannons there, so they kind of have free reign to just go ahead and go crazy on those Immortals, sentries, and even the line right now. And he's definitely going to get this Nexus sacked here momentarily, unless these Stalkers can come in here. Doesn't look like they want a piece of that. Looks like they're just going to stay back here just a little bit more. There's an Overlord coming around now to check the left side.
Oh, look at all these probes hanging out. Oh, he's going to lose all these probes. That's terrible for RSVP. That's going to be about 20 probes lost here back in the corner of this 3rd base. Wasn't able to bring it back, but now the Stalkers are trying to engage. They catch the Hydra split up a little bit, and this may actually work out, but the Roaches rally around from the side. He's got a surround and a pincer here on RSVP. RSVP's done, Red Mage. Down to 68 supply to the 200 of Gene IC. Nothing he's going to be able to do to stop this.
Oh yeah, this is just a huge wave of Zerg right here. This is exactly what the Zerg are. They're a swarm army, and he's right now swarming them all in right there. He's got a great composition there with the Roaches, with the Hydras, and he's just absolutely wrecking things. And there's the GG there by Cool RSVP. Wow, what a great game there.
Oh yeah, RSVP tapping the GG. Gene IC looking so strong. So it's going to be tied up 1-1 here, moving into our final tie-breaking game in this best-of-3 semifinals at the IG Omega Divisional number 10, brought to you by itsgosu.com.
You're absolutely right about that, AC. Go to itsgosu.com. See all the games we cover, not just StarCraft 2. We have everything from Super Street Fighter 4, Marvel vs. Capcom 3, Mortal Kombat, Heroes of Newerth, League of Legends, and many, many more coming to you. Don't forget about our major announcement today. We did merge with All for One Gaming, now under the tag IGE. It's Gosu eSports. Cannot wait. So anytime you see any of the One players, welcome them to the It's Gosu family. Please, they're all amazing, a bunch of guys, and we cannot wait to see what they do for us in MLG Anaheim. Of course, Red Mage, I'm Red Mage. AC, Mr. Mini-Me and I, unfortunately, will not be attending MLG Anaheim because we want to send as many players as possible. We are actually sending the largest team MLG Anaheim, which we are very excited about. We're trying to take care of our new guys there. We want to make sure we get them everything that they need. But we will see you at MLG Raleigh, MLG Orlando, and MLG Providence. You can guarantee that, and along with the IGE team. And we hope that everybody turns out for everything we have going on, especially our LAN event that we have going on the 25th at Cybergrounds, one of our major sponsors. Come on down if you're in the Northern Virginia area. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. As usual, AC and I will be there doing our shtick live.
Oh, yeah.
And I will hopefully not get distracted by shiny objects and give the people there a great show, because I am horrible with the camera nowadays because I'm so distracted by looking at cool things. So come on out and say hi.
Absolutely. All right, Red Mage, moving in. This is going to be Game 3, Call RSVP, and a relative unknown, Gene IC. Love to get we should have checked his profile. Obviously, he's a guy that's to be taken seriously. You're taking a game off of one of Complexity's star players, RSVP. But are the other semifinal match? Is the other semifinal match playing right now, brother?
Yes, it sure is.
Okay, do we have a result on that? I want to know who they're going to be moving on to take on if we do. I'd love to know who's going to be playing.
Not yet. As soon as I get that information, I will let you know. But it was TQ You Are Sexy taking on Lag TT Bandino.
Dito.
So, huh? Bandito.
Yep. So RSVP going to be spawning up right now, coming off a pretty impressive loss. Well, not a pretty impressive loss for him, but a pretty impressive victory for Gene IC over him at Belshire Beach. The series tied up 1-1, and Gene IC looking so sharp down in the waves and kicking it in the sand against RSVP. Going to be in the purple, spawning in the bottom right. So Shakuras Plateau was the choice for RSVP. Without a doubt, that's going to be because it's so easy to get a Forge Fast expand up here, Red Mage.
Oh yeah, you're absolutely right about that. With this kind of map on Shakuras, anything can happen. With these two guys, they can be brutal with their aggression. They can be brutal with their trolling pylage, trolling evolution travers, trolling everything. And I kind of want to see what they're going to do to each other this round. It's kind of like an escalation thing. We saw the troll hatch, then we saw the troll cybernetics core with the troll pylon. I kind of want to see what's going on. Oh, it looks like Sexy is going to be in the final, so the winner of this is going to be taking on You're Too Sexy.
All right, I love that name that I actually understand it, and it doesn't just look like alphabet soup. But there's the troll pylon going to block the hatch here by Gene IC. Was ready to do it, but a little late. No, he's just going to take it anyway. Says that's fine. Oh, that was my bad. That was actually RSVP's friggin' base. I was looking at the wrong one. So yeah, the hatchery going down. This is a proxy hatch, true to Gene IC style. Throwing it down the probes, just looking around. I was like, what do I do? What do I do? Now getting down the forge. I mean, that's pretty much all he can do. All the way back home, Gene IC says, that's fine. I'll take another hatch. It's cool, bro. I got 3 hatches. One's in your natural. I think it's all right. I'll long mine gas. That's fine.
That's right, long mine it.
But the pylon goes down here, RSVP. So doing basically what he can, trying to complete a wall off, maybe a little crack here at the front. But the gateway down now. The cybernetics core soon to be behind, I'm sure, as soon as the gateway finishes. Or maybe he's just going to build a cannon right there as soon as the forge completes. But, yeah, more creative play. And all. It just amazes me. It's like, yeah, there's a hatch being built, and he's just going to build his base right in front of it. Not a problem. So the hatch just about...
right about that, AC. Sorry about that, buddy.
It's all right. The hatch just about to complete now, so we're going to see what happens. The cannons are down. They're going to be able to deal with this. And so the question, yep, never mind. Just going to cancel it and build an evolution chamber. It's fine, bro. Not a problem. Cancels it, and we actually see a good response there from RSVP. Cancels one of the cannons as well to recoup himself some minerals. And but he's got to get rid of this before he can build his Nexus. So if nothing else, this is delaying the absolute hell out of getting up that expansion Nexus. Back at his main, he's taken both gases at the exact same time. And back down for Gene IC, 1 gas. He's got a spawning pool up and a hatch, and that's all he has. And this is just a very unique style.
Oh, yeah, very unique, very harassment-oriented, and I do like the fact that RSVP continues to do what he's doing. He doesn't really stop what he's doing to deal with that situation. He just kind of builds around it and then deals with it as it comes. And, this is fantastic. And those broodlings are going to be able to take... Oh, I thought they were going to be able to take out that probe with 3 health. It barely inches away. Its little fins are all torn up. It looks like little Nemo at this point.
I'll tell you, something funny that I think you would have gotten a kick out of last night while we watched the end game come at us full speed. But last night, or not the end game, the mid game, I should say. last night I was hanging out with our new team members, IGE, Rumcake, and IGE Kai Hall. No, Nomcheer. I'm sorry, it was actually Nomcheer. And they were playing a game, and when I say last night, it was like 4 a.m. this morning. And they were playing a game, and Nomcheer was off racing. And he was going Zerg. And, oh, God. The important thing about this is probably the most epic moment I've seen on Tal'Darim Altar. They were playing the ladder version of that map. And, the rocks block the third base on Tal'Darim on that. And this is exactly when we're talking about epic probes like our hero here who survived with 3 hit points. He was overtaking out the destructible rocks at that third. Rumcake was, I should say. And he had to pull back to deal with Nomcheer just as it had 1 hit point left. So whenever he went to expand after that engagement, he walked over the probes. The probes shocked the rocks once, and they just exploded in a gigantic, violent explosion. And he built his Nexus. So one of the most awesome things ever witnessed in StarCraft, at least from my point of view.
That's awesome.
Absolutely. So RSVP has got 4 assimilators up now and a Stargate, so looking to go with a tech route. I love this as much as I bitch. Love that RSVP probably didn't listen to me. He's just good enough to know that I'm right. I always get up that Stargate if and when you can off of a really fast Forge Fast Expand, and for Gene IC taking his 3rd hatch. So definitely going to see another mid-game Red Mage.
Love to see some Red Mage. Love to see some Red Mage. Yes, love to see some mid-game there between, especially PVZ. Just because, again, I have the possibility to get my very cool units, the Mothership, the Nidus Network, but I don't think I'm going to see either one of those because these two players love to favor units, actual livable, go for them, balls out units, and that is something I love to see because RSVP does a great job at counterbalancing whatever Gene IC has, and then Gene IC does a great job of just amassing just a swarm of stuff just to send out just wave after wave of killbots there into Zap Brannigan's mitts.
Very nice. Good reference. Void Ray on the way now. Going to try and spot and take down this third, and this is really... a lot of Protoss players, they wonder, it's like, okay, I've got a Void Ray out, I'm going for a Stargate after an expand. What is the purpose of a Void Ray? The entire purpose of getting a Void Ray is to stop or at least delay the third base of a Zerg player. This is going to actually probably force the cancel. Is he going to let it finish? He is going to let it finish. Wow. So the Hydralisk Den's only about 3/4 of the way done, and I don't think he's going to be able to get a Queen or any unit over here to deal with this. I think that's just a bit of a mistake. He wasn't paying enough attention because he's almost certainly going to lose this hatch. Yeah, down to 250 hit points, and yeah, Phoenixes have joined it now. So yeah, he's going to lose this hatch. So a little bit of bad control there by Gene IC, losing that hatch entirely instead of just recouping the money with a cancel. But the Evolution Chamber on the way now. Queen count growing slightly, and Hydralisk going to be on the board. So not going to be a lot of air harassment, I don't think.
Yeah, it doesn't look like a whole lot there, but yeah, I love the Phoenixes because I love to watch him pick stuff up, and especially the Hydralisk right there, little tail flapping around. Yeah, always funny. But we see a great response there. One Spore Crawler going down right now. That's going to be going down in the natural, which is smart. You want to be able to cover that natural first, and then you go for your main because he's probably going to target where the bulk of your units, especially when you've got your Hydralisk Den, you've got your Roach Warren all right there. You need to protect where the most amount of your stuff is. So this is a very smart move here by Gene.
Oh yeah. RSVP, though, being very active with these Phoenixes already. That Spore Crawler that went down in the natural, he's going to need one somewhere near his main. He's picked off a ton of Overlords. That's the 5th Overlord he's killed in total. He's now supply blocked his opponent. So Gene floating a good number of minerals, and the Queen was late to the party there at the main, but some really effective air harassment here out of RSVP, just picking and prodding and trying to find holes in Gene IC's defense.
Oh yeah, and Thorfan, the Mothership is always available. It can never be banned. Just because they said that the Mothership was banned. No, it is not.
Banned from what?
It will never be banned.
No, it can't be banned. Never. It's a freaking Mothership, man. Who bans a Mothership?
It's like having and Thor. You can have and Mothership.
Yeah, well, you actually can only have and Mothership. How cool would it be if they let you have more than one Mothership, man?
God, that would be just ridiculous. You might as well just have a fleet or something like that. I actually tried to play the fleet game, the fleet adaptation. I'm terrible at that. Just so bad at that.
Just so awful. It's just so bad.
So awful. I'm worse at that than I am at regular StarCraft.
Well, we see RSVP remaining active, but he's going to allow this third to complete, it looks like. The Hydralisk rallied over, so yeah, that's going to chase them away pretty effectively. But in the meantime, RSVP's had plenty of comfortable time to get up his third. That Nexus about 1/6 of the way done, give or take. And, but yeah, again, both players being very, very cautious. As crazy as G-Nice is with his opening games and, with the troll hatches and what have you, he actually tends to settle back and be very, very cautious in the mid-game.
Oh yeah, we just see more and more going through. They're trying to take map position. They're kind of butting heads. Just swaying back and forth. It's nice to see that they're moving out of their bases. They're not trying to do all the battles in their base. They're trying to push an enemy in their base. There's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of room for retreat, which is great because if you can totally decimate your enemy while he's running, it always works out in your favor. That observer of RSVPs is working overtime, having to follow this army back and forth as it takes some weird angles.
Well, here we go. The Zergling's going to rush in, supported with a decent little count of Hydras. So very slow off the creep, though. If he wants to try and push this, he has to engage in an optimum way. Don't know that he's going to be able to do that. Almost all of Zerglings have been handled already. Good force field's going to choke off all those Hydralisks coming in a very narrow corridor. And, he needs to pull back. But here's the trouble, and this is what's so dangerous about engaging with Hydralisks off creep. He really cannot retreat. Trying to retreat, the Stalkers are just so fast, they're going to be able to chase him down. Roach is joining the party now, but the army just so very small and not very scary at all for G-Nice, while these sentries really make RSVP's defense pretty staunch.
Oh, yeah.
Well, here we go.
Sorry, I thought I was going to Steve. Sorry.
No, you're good. None of that. Yet another engagement, and I don't know what the hell he was thinking there. Did he just try to run by? He just got all of his Hydra's force field super up close, but that's actually going to favor him. It looks like, not very good usage of force fields as this army tries to retreat. Now 1 Colossus, 2 Colossi on the map. Going to try and force this back. The Phoenix doing what it can against these Overlords. Going to be quickly taken out by the Hydras. But, G-Nice staying very active with his army. Doesn't just want to sit back and try to engage when it's 200, instead opting to force the issue on his terms and just continuing to rally in small groups of Roaches and Hydras and Zerglings into the middle of the map, and he's effectively taken map control now.
And that's great. You definitely want to see that. We're seeing a little bit more creep spread there. Again, he just needs to spread the creep a little bit more, especially for those Hydralisks. He's going to need it. And I don't know why he keeps floating those Overlords without the Overlord speed into the middle of the field. They're going to get creamed.
Oh, yeah. Well, here we go. More Roaches, more Hydras. He pushed up the ramp. Looks like he rethought it. Probably a good call. 3 Colossus, not going to be the army he wants to engage at this point with such a small number of Roaches, but... and the RSVP says, hey, I'm fine, bro. I'm cannoned up like a mother. Here at my third, I've got 7 cannons down. I'm just going to go ahead and take a 4th. And in the meantime, same line of thinking here out of G-Nice taking his 4th hatch as well. So the map effectively split in half now. And we could have a very long game on our hands, Red Mage.
Oh, we could definitely have a very long game here with more and more expansions coming out for both players. Yeah, it's unbelievable. I like the fact that they've taken their opposite sides. We're going to start to see them just come in, slowly. And this is one of those situations where if you had creep spreading over half the field, you can kind of essentially consider that your flag. Like, all right, the center of the map is mine. Now, bam, put the flag in it right there. We see the spire going down, so we can see a little bit more air combat coming out of G-Nice. But at the same time, more starports coming out for RSVP. This could be very, very cool. Either he's going to just mass a huge Void Ray army, or he's going to just completely harass all the Overlords around the board with Phoenix after Phoenix after Phoenix.
Right.
And there will be little to nothing that Gene will be able to do about that if he is able to pull that off.
I'd say he's probably going to opt just, Void Rays. Void Ray is going to add exactly what he needs to deal with a high Roach count, and the Colossus is going to be plenty adequate to deal with any kind of Hydra play. Colossus is just the anti-Hydra. But looks like G-Nice's opting instead to get ready for a drop. He's got the Ventral Sacs and the Pneumatized Carapace finishing up just about on top of each other. Blink on the way for RSVP, so both players getting just about every damn upgrade they can here.
Oh yeah, and that's great to see that. Once you're starting to get closer to that gap, you start getting that tech as fast as you can. 3 Corruptors are going to come on the way. You think we could see a greater Spire? Does he have he's got layer tech. Does he have hive tech yet? No, doesn't have hive tech yet. But I didn't know if he's going to go for the broods or not.
Well, one of the real subtle ways or subtle factors in how a PVZ tends to play out is always going to be how well a person guesses the the corruptor count to be. You know, how many corruptors they think they need. Like, for example, when you look at MLG Idra's showing against OGS MC on the map on Testbug, what really cost him there is he had like 16 corruptors, and now we see 14 on the way out of Gene IC, and that's great. That helps you take down the Colossus, but then your army on the ground tends to be very, very thin, and you really got to, you know, for a Zerg player, you really got to be able to guess that right. Gene IC's going for a drop here down at the bottom of the map. He's going to drop this fourth, and at the same time, RSVP pushing through the center of the map, so we're going to see engagements at two different places. A high Colossus count for RSVP going to be enough to scare Gene IC all the way back home. The Corruptors are rejoining at the same time. This drop's going down and being quite effective, taking down the cannons first, probably going to target down the Nexus second, and looks like RSVP, is he going to pull all the way back to deal with that? Really? Okay, that's dangerous because now this extremely high Corruptor count is going to be able to snipe them in transit, and yeah, he's going to catch them from behind. He's going to catch them completely from behind. One Colossus taken down without a single Corruptor lost. This drop continuing to be somewhat effective. Now, the Void Rays arrived to deal with it, but it looks like, is he not going to get the Nexus? That Phoenix swoops in to pick up that last Roach just in time. Now all these Overlords need to get the hell out of Dodge and get back home. But so much going on the map. The Corruptor count's still absurdly high at 17 for Gene IC. And again, but look at his army. His ground army is pathetically small at this point. We can see, yeah, look, that's all he has, basically. He lost a ton, and he's got a lot in production. But he still needs to get them all together for some kind of big push, because every moment he allows RSVP to inch towards the cap and continue with his upgrades is a moment when victory is going to be a bit tougher. The Void Rays engage the Corruptors. The Corruptor count so high it's going to chase the Void Rays away. The Colossus push in. 5 of them now. One falls immediately. No, he's not going to get the second one. The Stalker's just enough to chase this away, and again, that's the problem. You got to have a ground army to support that. The Stalker's blinking forward to take out a few more Corruptors, chasing Gene IC all the way back to his half of the map, and now he's got to try to reconsolidate his force and try to hold this off, Red Mage.
This is going to be unbelievable right here. Those Corruptors trying to do what they can. Those Void Rays absolutely annihilating them, and the Blink Stalkers just getting up there, completely tearing up those Corruptors. Almost nearly 3/4 of them right there just completely vanished right there. Most of them, a couple of them deep in the red. More of them on the way though. And as we just see, just an onslaught there with Stalkers, Void Rays, and Colossi.
I don't think that Gene IC is going to have what it takes here. He doesn't have the personnel. They're all spread out. He's basically, every time he engages, he's basically just being walked over top of. RSVP is going to have all the freedom he needs to just walk across the map. Oh, he's got 2 Colossus completely isolated down here. That's kind of scary. I mean, he's got the Corruptors, yeah, that are target firing him down, so he's probably going to lose at least one of his Colossus. So a little bit of bad control there out of RSVP. Not very characteristic. But yeah, there it is, the GG. So Gene IC eliminated by Call RSVP. RSVP heading to the finals following a 2-1 victory here in the semifinals of our IGO Mega Divisional number 10, brought to you by itsgosu.com.
You're absolutely right about that. I see absolutely amazing gameplay right there. Wow, that was so cool going in there. And now, of course, you know, cool RSVP is going to be taking on TQ. Why are you so sexy here in the finals?
Is that not? That's a pretty cool name. The more I listen to it, the more awesome it is.
Yeah, and the way he did it, you know, you and I were, you know, right there. It just did not make any sense whatsoever. Just unbelievably weird, and we were just calling it music for a while. But yeah, You Are So Sexy is just so cool.
Absolutely, guys. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. Going to give a few shout-outs here in the chat to all of our buddies. Not all of them. There's going to be a lot of folks who don't have time to get to, but just off the top of my head, Data Lusk SC, DSNEN, Fire Minx, of course, Kevin the Killer, Minked, Raven Zomga, Sapphire RU, Cessia 16, how you doing, Love, Shake Master 52, Smaten LOL, Spartan Gomez, The Ender's Game, love that title, except Orson Scott Card is an absolute right-wing nut job, and Tally, doing a lot of our good art. So thanks so much, guys. It's a pleasure to have you here. I'm AC, that's Red Mage JR, and this is the IGO Mega Divisional number 10, brought to you by itsgosu.com, and of course brought to you by our wonderful sponsors. Still Series, the lead sponsor for Itsgosu, and Team IGE. Read all about that new announcement over at itsgosu.com, cyberground.us, Max Integration, and San Yamabushi Jujutsu in combination, Goju Ryu School of Self-Defense. You can find them online at sanyamabushi-goju.com. So our finals, TQ, Why Are You So Sexy? Did I get that right? Yeah, Why Are You So Sexy?
Why Are You So Sexy?
Taking on Call RSVP here in the finals of IGO Mega Divisional number 10. You know, we're winding down, man. We're down to the last few events. of our 2011 spring tournament series. So it's it's kind of bittersweet. This was our inaugural tournament series, but my God, are we bouncing back with a lot of stuff going on coming up in the summer.
Oh, yeah, I cannot wait to see what we got coming on. We're adapting a lot more of the schedule to you, the community. We're going to start offering times that are a little bit better for you on the West Coast. It's going to be horrible for Thor fan, though, if he wants to watch those, because it's going to put the time even further away to him, since he's in the future.
Oh, exactly.
Right there. So, yeah, we are going to start modifying the times. The start times are going to probably be around 9 o'clock to aid our West Coast friends there, to try to get them into more and more events.
Right.
And then, of course, we'll have an East Coast week as well. So we're going to be alternating back and forth. And we're going to start including EU, the EU server. So for those of you in the EU, we will be starting coming over there. So look forward to seeing AC and Red Mage on the EU servers here very, very shortly, having some tournaments and hopefully starting to get some actual divisional play, just like you see here on the North American servers, the betas, the alphas, the omegas, once we get everything up and running. And of course, with our new acquisition of one now IGE, Team IGE, we are definitely looking to see what we can do on the worldwide scale.
Well, absolutely. 10 players of ours going to Anaheim. Make sure you check out that lineup. And really, it's, I don't want to oversell it. I'm a big proponent of under-promise, over-deliver. Deliver. That's a great mantra to have in life. Just just in general, okay? Just in general. Don't promise more than you can deliver, but always deliver more than you promise. And so I don't want to step outside of that, but really we had two finishers, two guys who were 2 wins away from the main stage at MLG Columbus. So that's going to be IGE Nomcheer and IGE WBC. And it's not too out of line to say, you know what, I think maybe one of those guys has a chance to make it to championship pool play in Anaheim, Red Mage.
Oh yeah, I would love to see them get up there. I mean, we've been fans of All for One for a long time, especially ever since we started the faction wars, and as we're starting to grow more and more attached to them, and I love the fact that we are now we are now all one family, so to speak. And
exactly.
I can't, it's going to be a great source of pride. I know for the All for One IGE team, but as well as for the entire IG community, when they see our players are up there, really showing them what's what when they show up at Anaheim, and I cannot wait. It's going to be like that country pride. We'll have to say IGE,
right?
As the USA, like they did when Idra. I was going to call him Idra. Yeah, it is Idra. Sorry, Idra. Taking on. No,
it's Idra. No, it's Idra.
Is it Idra?
Yeah, he's cleared that up a few times.
So it is Idra. Okay, because I for some reason I thought he wanted to put on Idra. But
nope, definitely going
to see what we can do there. So yeah, it is Idra. So thank you very much.
Speaking
of the correction,
not a problem. No, it's the only reason I remember is he was kind of a dick about it on State of the Game. Whenever somebody was like Idra, and he's like, no, it's Idra. It's Idra. Seriously, it's just Idra. But but anyway, speaking of Idra, one of our players, I don't want to misquote it. I want to say that it's Gator. I'm almost positive it's Gator. There are only 2 players on the planet right now that are pre-qualified for WCG, the World Cyber Games in StarCraft 2. One of them is now a part of IGE. That's one Gator, I think. I could be wrong. If I am, then it sucks to be me. But the other player is EG Idris. So that's literally the level that we're on right now with the level of talent on our team. So anyway, back to the StarCraft at hand. TQ, why are you so sexy? Also known as Sexy, just for the sake of brevity, going to be spawning down the 6 o'clock position, going automatically right up to 3 barracks. Wow. Right behind his very fast expansion command center, while Call RSVP, one of the most impressive players, though, to always turn out and play in our events, spawning at the 12 o'clock position, is just doing his thing, chrono boosting out his Stalker, and getting his Warp Gate research on the way. No sign of a Nexus as of yet, though he is being scouted by Sexy at the moment.
Oh yeah, he's definitely too sexy for that expansion. He's going to start going down right now with that single Stalker. Second one coming down as well with the Zealot. So yeah, he's definitely putting on the pressure earlier for RSVP. He's got to know that, or for sometimes he is RSVP on the Sexy. As he's definitely taking a huge beating, and those SCVs having to be pulled off right now to tank some damage for him.
Oh yeah, the SCV's chasing the Stalker back. The Stalker took a good amount of fire, lost almost all of his shields, but no real health. Only 3 hit points of his health gone. with the initial push there. So RSVP is doing exactly what you need to do to punish a fast expand out of a Terran. You got to get in there early, but a little bit of miscontrol there by the Zealot, and that Stalker all of a sudden is not nearly as scary against these Marines. It would take a lot of micro for him to continue to try to do damage, but look what we got going on over on the right-hand side. Pylon down, and the Twilight Council on the way, so either blind Blink Stalkers or DTs, and a Nexus now going up at RSVP's expansion.
Oh yeah, that could be extremely dangerous for UR Sexty. Even though he does have those two orbital commands, he is going to want to get up Marines very, very quickly. So he's going to start dropping mules. As you can see, there's double mules right now in the expansion, and it's going to take him just a little bit longer to go ahead and keep cranking those up. So he will have a small window of opportunity here with those DTs in between the scans if he can time it just right. There's the Dark Shrine
on the way.
There you go. You called it.
Yep, so it looks like RSVP wants to try and punish this as badly as he can. He wants to make his opponent rely on orbital commands to try and deal with this, because whenever you do fast expand, you're usually going to be a little bit late getting up that engineering bay for the turrets. So Sexy, it looks to be in a pretty good position, chased off that initial harassment, but RSVP, if he can get in and just do a good amount of damage to the SCVs of his opponent, it's really going to pay off, even though it is quite a long and laborious path to get up that Dark Shrine.
Right. And yeah, that is going to be extremely tricky. And smart thing for him to do is to definitely have that Nexus. He's going for a Robo at the same time, so that's very ambitious. He's trying to make a lot of unit producing structures. Now, I guess that's so he can do an easy transition out of the DT, or he's not going to focus primarily on the DT, which is smart.
Right.
To not put all your eggs in that one basket, because goodness knows, as soon as you start doing that, those orbital commands start dropping scans left and right, and you're wasting minerals one right after the other.
Oh no, absolutely. So. Yeah, every time he wastes a scan to kill one DT, yeah, he kills one DT, but that's 240 extra minerals he's not going to have in the bank. So the first DT warped in now, going to be making his way down. Let's check the orbital commands. Does he have any energy? At just about 50 on that, and he's
got one with about 80 right now. So.
Yep. And he got the turret up, actually. I didn't even notice that. So it looks like he maybe sniffed a little bit of trouble. Got the turret up, maybe just out of a safety precaution, but RSVP shut down almost immediately. So, yeah, it looks like why are you so sexy? Definitely, he's got the game sense, man. He says, hey, I know you're not going to pull back and not punish my expansion, so something's up, and gets up the turret, and it turns out to be exactly what he needed to do.
Oh yeah, when you don't see a whole lot of pressure out of an opponent that normally puts it on, he's got to be up to some sort of shenanigans. Now the trick for why you're so sexy is, are you going to go out and look for it? Are you going to waste that kind of time to go out and look for it? This might be the kind of thing where he's pushing out right now. Is he pushing out to go on ahead and put some pressure?
He's warped in two DTs into the main now off a pylon on the lower ramp, so he's going to be able to get in. He's going to work immediately on the tech labs, and we see the cancel. Yeah, don't know. I didn't see. Did he finish the stem? It looked like he canceled it. So if he canceled the stem, that's probably going to be the best call. I couldn't tell if it finished or if it was canceled. Now going to work, and he's going to catch the combat shield as well. Is he going to get it? No, he's going to pull off just before it falls. But this other DT going to work, doing what it can, taking out supply depots on the top left-hand side of the base. The scan must be incoming. Yep, here comes the army, and he's gonna get maybe no. He's got to get something up there to repair it, or he is going to lose it. At the same time, another DT has been down in the main. Another scan goes down, so that's more than 1,000 minerals, or close to 1,000 minerals worth of. If you count the supply depot he lost by letting it burn down, it is pretty much 1,000 minerals of damage when you factor in lost mule mining time.
Oh yeah, right there. You see him going after the observer there. Now taking down that pylon to completely alleviate that. Great harassment there by RSVP, and we see yet more pylons going in. He's just building troll pylons all over the place right there, and that is great. And You're So Sexy is right now kind of stuck. He's supply blocking. He's having to build those 3 supply depots. They're going down right now. More pylons going in with the cancel or a blast I didn't see. And yeah, he's just gonna leave this probe to its fate.
Another DT out.
He's gonna get away.
Another DT out off this pylon near the center of the map, looping it back around. And yeah, it looks like he's going to push back down towards the natural. Not sure if he's going to want to be active with it or it looks like he's just going to plant it there just to have some map control. Another DT moving out. He's going to catch the army here in the middle. So another scan. That's another 240 minerals wasted by by Sexy. As well, I shouldn't say wasted, but necessarily spent to try and deal with just one little DT. But oh no, this is a very scary push. Don't know that RSVP is going to have what he needs to deal with this. He's got a handful of Zealots and a few Stalkers, but he's invested so much into the DT pressure that I think Sexy has made the right decision and says, you know what, that's fine. You can harass the hell out of me. I'm just going to go freaking kill you, man. So he takes down the expansion Nexus. Gonna have to, he's going to go ahead and choose to push up into the main now. Going to work on the production facilities. The first gateway already lost all of its shields. The probes pulled from behind to try and get some kind of a sandwich and maybe deal with this. But 4 medevac's going to be able to heal up this army pretty easily. There's another scan to make sure there's no DTs handy. And it looks like Sexy's probably going to be able to push. And there it is, the GG from RSVP. So Sexy jumps out to a 1-0 lead against Call RSVP here in the finals of our IG Omega Divisional number 10, brought to you by itsgosu.com.
You're absolutely right about that, AC. My goodness, that was such a great game. Don't forget to go to itsgosu.com. And don't forget that we're getting ready to announce the winners of our 2 packs of Planeswalker Magic cards here momentarily. Now that the extra special machine has done what it can do to randomize all the entries that we had. Give me just for a moment to read that email, and I'll get to that to you probably while we're starting up the next game. RSVP doing a great job there. And also don't forget to follow us on Justin TV if you haven't. That's one of the big curriculum for winning those free Magic cards. But honestly, it's just a kind of a cool thing for us, so that we can show our sponsors that we're actually doing some cool stuff. That's kind of how we landed Steel Series. It's kind of how we landed Max Integration.
Right.
And really, it's just a great way for us to kind of show that we are liked by the community. You know, if you like what you see, if you like what you hear, please hit the follow button there. That's really all it's there for. And we use the media tactic of you give us that, we'll give you free stuff. That's exactly what you're getting. AC, you need to accept the invite, buddy, or you're going to miss it.
Absolutely. There we go.
All right, cool. So we're definitely looking forward to seeing more and more people participating in the Itsgosu community itself. And what I mean by community, we have a lot of people starting up their blogs now. We have a lot of people that are commenting on my blog, especially the My Life as a Gosu. And of course, everybody's adding in a lot of great information in the forums, not just for StarCraft 2, but for League of Legends, Heroes of Newerth, Marvel vs. Capcom 3, Mortal Kombat, and many more. So thank you all. And don't forget about our brand new fan art section there at the bottom of every single forum. We are also developing a replay section. So if you want to upload replays for StarCraft 2, League of Legends, all that stuff, we'll have that stuff up and running here momentarily. Max Integration is working on that. So give us a couple of days, maybe a week or so, and we'll definitely have that up. We cannot wait. And again, don't forget to read up all the news articles that AC puts up there, as well as the rest of the team for that. And, well, we do want to thank Mr. Mini-Me, Voss, and SKS Dark for doing all the work in the background, too. I don't know if we thank them that much this time, but we do appreciate them, because we can't keep doing what we're doing without them and without you in the chat.
Absolutely.
Chatting it up with us. And I've been seeing artwork and hoodie designs, stuff flying back and forth. It's absolutely amazing. All the work that you guys are doing, my God, you guys are awesome. Right there, that hoodie I saw, was really great. I'm with them though. The IGE, you definitely need to get the little flame for the G, and then just an I and E. I don't know. But Mr. Mini-Me, I'm sure we can find some sort of logo or something for that. But I love the fact that everybody's using Torch the Terran.
Oh, I know.
For all that stuff. That is so
don't forget,
cool.
Torch comes in a variety of flavors. We have Dalzim Torch at the top of the Justin TV page actually right now. So yeah, we plan to use Torch in a variety of ways. He's a cool little guy. I like him.
Oh yeah, we got a Dalsim, we got we got a lot of Street Fighter characters, because the way that Torch was originally designed was he was when we were really big into the Street Fighter series during the which we'll be getting back into here soon.
Oh, we need a League of Legends Torch now, man. We've got think about that.
We
keep harping about the StarCraft 2 team, which is an amazing team. We've got a League of Legends team on IG2 or now, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm not super huge on the League of Legends competitive scene, but apparently they went as far as they could until they got beat by the top team on the freaking planet. So we're talking about we've got a League of Legends team that's really going to be able to compete on the international scale. So awesome for them, and thanks so much, guys. Part of the reason we were able to acquire All for One Gaming and Forum IG was because of the amazing support we've received from the community. Red Mage and I, we love you every night, because we know you guys support us, and that means so much to us. But everyone else who may or may not be here this evening, the support of you guys is what made that all possible, and we cannot wait to have our 10 players at Anaheim shock and wow the world, as we hope we send at least one player to the main stage.
Yes, we would. And yeah, I just heard somebody say torch bobbleheads. That is an awesome idea.
I like that.
I like bobbleheads. I would love to put bobbleheads on my nerd wall here. My nerd wall would be fantastic. Although I did set my Red Mage background. That's now the background on my computer. So thank you again for my Red Mage picture. That was very, very cool. I definitely dig that. So I'm gonna show that off to my roommates after the tournament tonight. So that's very, very cool. So.
Which one?
Thank you again.
Which one was it? Which Red Mage picture? Have I missed it? I've been kind of going back. I haven't gotten to hang out in the stream
it was
as much.
The one that I want to say it was Shake. You're gonna have to forgive me. I believe it was Shake Master that did it. Forgive me if I get that wrong. My brain.
Well, while you think about it, Proxy Stargate on the way here out of Call RSVP. We see that they've spawned in close air positions, and RSVP says, yeah, it's close air positions. It's not close enough for me. I'd rather proxy this mug. So hiding over here right near the third. Oh, no, here comes a Hellion. He's going to scout around. He's not going to see it. He's going to run right past it. So he's going to head across, checking for proxy pylons, going to make a loop around the map and not seeing anything. So great placement here by Call RSVP in a great position to try and get off a little early Stargate action, probably with a Void Ray.
Oh yeah, it was Shake Master. So yeah, thank you very much, Shake Master, for that. Yeah, make sure you put your name on your art when you put it up there, so that way we can give you guys proper credit for everything.
Right, exactly. Was it the one with the little mage getting chased by the Banshees?
Yes, it was the one.
I love that one.
Yes, that one was very, very cool. All kinds of really great things. I can't wait to see what we come up with. And I see a little bit of harassment here out of You're So Sexy with that Hellion going in there, not really killing too much. Still has no kills. Did a little bit of damage here once in a while. Now he's trying to get something up, but those stalkers seem to be chasing it pretty well. He's dinking the shields just a little bit, but yeah, he's just going to move
being
right
annoying. That's basically more of a scout than it is any kind of a real harassment, but very effective in that. Look at RSVP. He's got 3 stalkers off another proxy pylon, and this Void Ray ready to begin the push. The Void Ray is going to grant the high ground vision, so this could be very, very bad news for Sexy. Yep, he's going to start target firing down immediately the depots. Marine's going to have to be called in. Only a small number of them. Oh, no. Sexy went for tanks, so he's not going to have much. He's got so much invested in tech that can't shoot up. There's a supply block. There's another supply depot that goes down, and just such a small number of Marines. 5 of them are going to have to come in and try and deal with this. One's going to die quickly. No, yes, it's built up. He needs to just engage this. These Marines should not be that scary for this Void Ray. But it looks like he wants to make sure he uses the support of the stalkers on the low ground. So he's effectively shut down mining right now for Sexy, bringing in just a paltry income. Not a whole lot he's going to be able to do. And if he doesn't do something about this soon, he's basically going to be out of it. Yeah, looks like RSVP being a little overcautious, I would even say, in using this Void Ray. He needs to get involved a little bit more with it. Now he's going to be able to pick off SCVs and probably force them into the mining, at least momentarily once again. No, he's just going to keep mining through it. Feels like he's got an adequate Marine count now to catch the Void Ray, but a second one's joined the fight, so this might be GG real soon here, Red Mage.
That's what it looks like, unfortunately. Yeah, with all that Void Ray action going on, they'll be able to supercharge up pretty quickly. The siege just finished on those tanks, but he's going to be so far out of siege range that those Void Rays are just going to be able to soak him in. Those stalkers. Right at this point, You're So Sexy's lucky that there's no blink on those stalkers. We can just instantly blink up there. It looks like we're going to see a PDD hopefully pop down here momentarily out of that Raven, but he's still got another 16 game seconds before that happens. Before he's got enough energy, and that Viking is trying to go to town on that. It's trying to lead him back into those stalkers. Very, very good microing there. That's exactly the kind of thing that you want to do. The downside of this, though, is I was going to say he's not expanding, but now he is. So smart move there by RSVP, going for it, putting on that harassment, then expanding behind it. Terrific job there.
Yep, he leaves the probe behind just to see if he can catch the timing of his opponent's expansion, but even though he didn't end the game there, and a very good response, by the way, for Sexy, doing a great job chasing that away with the Raven and the Viking and a handful of Marines. He took a lot of damage. We pop this back up. Oh, he's actually still not done. He's going to continue to harass back here at the back. Now he's going to turn around and go home. At least it looks that way, but we can see the workers killed. There's been 9 workers killed so far for Call RSVP. Or excuse me, no, he's killed 12 workers. When did Sexy kill so many workers?
I guess he ran those. I guess he ran those. I guess he had more than that one Hellion that we saw. He must have had more than one. I only saw the one, so I just assumed he just did the one. But I guess he just went crazy.
I don't know what happened. Anyway, if anyone, that's bizarre. I was trying to keep an eye on the map, didn't see anything going on. But anyway, RSVP back at home now with his Void Ray. Still no expansion down for Sexy. And whenever you suffer that kind of harassment and you know you're behind on your expansion, especially now that the second Nexus is complete for Sexy, or for RSVP, I should say, Sexy's really on a timer. He can only one base for so long before he completely becomes irrelevant in this game. And it looks like that's what he's doing, trying to put together a one base push, and that's really going to rely on the point defense drone out of this Raven. And but he's going to have to make it work pretty quickly and pretty effectively. Otherwise, RSVP is going to walk away with a pretty easy win here.
Oh, yeah. Now, can the point defense drone stop a Void Ray?
No, it has to be a projectile.
Okay, it's got to be a projectile. So, yeah, so it's only going to be able to stop the Stalkers momentarily, but
Yeah.
the Void Rays will still be able to go crazy. Okay,
Yep.
I just want to make sure that there. But, yeah, no, yeah, he's unloading some SCVs in there, too, probably to keep everything nice and either use them as meat shields, or he's going to go ahead and put them on auto repair. He's moving out, wiping out that probe there. Doesn't bother with the pylon or looking for that Stargate there. So he's just going to go ahead and move out. One Viking going toward the center. And, yeah, it looks like he is definitely going for his all-in push here.
Yep, this is going to be pretty all-in. He's got a good number of workers, still no expansion back home. In fact, his income is so small at this point, he really can't even afford an expansion. Still churning tanks and Marines, not at all trying to save up for the expansion. He's going to need to stay relevant. RSVP is going to have to handle this. Going to be tough. This PDD is going to be what really makes the difference. He's got to engage the Stalkers at the right way. Those tanks siege up. The Banshee's going to be able to provide a lot of damage to the Stalkers as well as the Zealots and everything else. So yeah, right now RSVP in a hell of a lot of trouble, leapfrogging the tanks ahead. 2 tanks siege up, gonna have to engage now. Here he goes, the point defense drones go down, so pretty much no damage being done by the Stalkers. The Marines cleaning this up very, very easily. And yeah, looks like Sexy probably gonna be able to handle this. Oh wow, what a mistake. He's taken so much damage because his Vikings have been completely inactive. He allowed that Void Ray to continue to do a lot more damage than it should have, but wow, he's going to clean this up. That amazes me. That was a big problem there by Sexy. Had to have the Vikings involved, and the reason that this has turned out the way it has in large part was because the Void Rays were able to keep engaging for as long as they did, because the Vikings were just completely MIA there in that battle. So, but it looks like he will be able to sack this Nexus, if nothing else, pouring the pressure on. And even though it seemed like it was going to be cleaned up, RSVP may end up being on the losing end of this, Red Mage.
Oh, yeah, he could definitely be on the losing end of this. He is trying to assemble a force just inside of that base. He's got a couple of sentries there. That'll keep stuff from rolling up in there. The only thing he's really going to have to worry about is that Banshee. Of course, it doesn't have cloaks, so it's not like he's got to worry about it that far. And I believe he does have at least an observer. Well, he did. No, I guess it got blown up. So, oh no, he does still have an observer. It's right there in the back left. So, even if he did have the cloak, he'd still be able to find it. But yeah, this is going to get real tricky real fast, because now you're so Sexy can just kind of lock RSVP into his base, and he's nearly mined out also.
Right. Well, at this point, to be honest, unless something very, very, very surprising happens, RSVP's kind of screwed. Oh, bad rally point on that Banshee. Loses that for no reason at all. But he's up on 4 warp gates in a robotics facility. He cannot even come close to supporting all that. Trying to get an Immortal out to maybe deal with the tanks. But so long as Sexy doesn't make another major blunder like he did by not having those Vikings engage when they should have, he should be in a good position to force a GG pretty soon.
Oh yeah, and that's exactly where he needs to be right there. Just pushing stuff in. Great defense there. Has a couple of Marines there just in case something comes down the ramp. But yeah, point defense drones going down, blocking everything out. That Viking finally dies after it's been on the ground for so long. But yeah, this is absolutely amazing right there.
Yep, there we go. This is going to clean up the remaining forces of RSVP. GG! Good manners from RSVP. He's so quick about that. It's like it pops up, like the score screen here pops up so quick that you wonder if he said GG. But he did. So Sexy going to be leading things 2-0 over RSVP here in the finals of our IG Omega Divisional number 10, brought to you by itsgosu.com.
Oh yeah, such great games right now. RSVP down 2-0. Wow, I can't remember the last time that I've seen RSVP down in a best of 5 series. I honestly can't. At least not 2-0. I mean, maybe 1-1 or 2-1, but yeah, never so far on a sweep. But this is going to be freaking crazy here. And we do want to thank, again, everybody watching us live and on the VODs here on JustinTV/TwitchTV.com. I did get the results for tonight's Magic the Gathering card giveaway. Thor fan's going to win himself another pack, and so is Shake Master, the Master Shake. Both of you guys are going to win.
I just noticed I'm just finally catching up a little bit of what's going on in the stream chat here. I just see a coffee mug with the It's Gosu logo. How awesome is that?
Yeah, they were talking about coffee mugs.
Oh, looks like your microphone might have dropped out there, buddy. Anyway, we're going to be jumping into the action. One more shout out. Oh, there he is. Did you pop back in?
Oh, no, I said, wow, and then it cut off because now we're back out of the game. Oh, because it's just, it's RSVP versus me. He kind of forgot to put us in the right place. That's why.
Oh, yeah, you'll have that from time to time. RSVP, though. Nothing but love to you, buddy. Just gives us more time to interact with the stream. Wow, he's quick on that. Getting things set up immediately.
He's super fast on that, isn't he? Like, I'm telling you, like the last time when I tried to set up a game between him and the next player, whatever, it was like, boom, right there. I had it done.
Yep, there he is. Countdown going on, so let's shout out the sponsors real fast. This is, of course, the IG Omega Divisional number 10, brought to you by It'sGosu.com, brought to you by our lead sponsor, Steel Series, and by the rest of our lovely sponsors, Cyberground.us, Max Integration, and Sanya Mabushi Jujutsu in combination, Goju Ryu School of Self-Defense. Check them out at sanyamabushi-goju.com. So, what the hell? Did he do it again? What happened that time? Do you know?
I don't no clue what happened that time.
I guess he's just screwing with us.
Oh, because it's the standard Zonaga cabinets that time. He didn't make the MLG version.
And again, the invite. So yes, I even blew through our sponsors, but thanks so much, guys. I'm AC, that's Red Mage JR, and this is the IG Omega Divisional number 10. What you're hearing in the background right now are the wonderful tunes of Machina Supremacy. Ronald Jinkies also pumping out in the background from time to time. Check them out online. Opening song for all of our events is Battle by Halotopic. You can find that at halotopic.newgrounds.com. Let's hope we got it right this time, and it's not even us that's screwing up this time. That's on RSVP, brah. Moving into MLG Xel'Naga Cavern, it's going to be Game 3 of this series. RSVP trailing 0-2 in this best of 5, and So Sexy, or Why Are You Sexy is actually his name, is leading 2-0 against a player that really I would not expect him to be leading 2-0, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, this is just epic right here, and this just speaks so highly. I mean, we've seen TQ Santis time and time again, and we love the Think Quick guys. I've not seen You're So Sexy before, but he is definitely winning my favor there for the guys over there at Think Quick. That is absolutely amazing. They must have been keeping him in a closet or something. He must be like Harry Potter. He lives under the stairs or whatever, and then they break him out every once in a while.
Or like you ever seen the Boondock Saints?
Yes.
Remember, it's like the dad. They keep him locked up in like 50 layers of chains. Then they let him. That's what he is. That's what he is. So
there you go.
Anyway, Sexy, and we've been saying his name wrong the entire night. By the way, it's Why Are You Sexy?
Why are you so sexy? Not You're So Sexy.
No, just Why Are You Sexy? So TQ and it wants to come out. Why Are You So Sexy? TQ Why Are You Sexy? Spawning at the top right, our Red Terran hero leading this series 2-0 over the inimitable Call RSVP, a guy that you would not expect to see down 0-2, but Sexy has just looked so damn good, as one would think a sexy person would. So RSVP is going to have to try and do something here to pull himself back into this, as now he's one game away from elimination.
Yeah, this is going to be the one kind of, Woody Harrelson quote, "Nut up or shut up," right here. This is exactly where you're going to have to go.
Right.
You've really got to bring the pain, drop the fire, whatever rally thing you want to say for your army. But he's got to get it out there. He cannot sit back and do the little fast expands and then try to put a little bit of pressure and then try to make a massive army, because Why Are You So Sexy is just becoming just a master at completely combating things like that, and playing with the back and forth that RSVP is typically very good at.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that's what's throwing off RSVP is he may not be familiar with Sexy, and I think that's always the thing too. If you're a big community gamer like RSVP is, and you don't know somebody at such high, I don't know what level. Why Are You So Sexy?
Oh, he's got to be masters at least.
He's got to be at least masters. So it's just one of those things. Like I know a lot of them kind of play or meet each other on the ladder, but if you're unfamiliar with a player, it can be very odd
Oh, yeah.
To start playing somebody like that. And, with everything that he was doing, back and forth, and plus RSVP was just getting harassed out the yang for the last couple of matches.
Right.
But managed to come back. He had to be feeling great, but then kind of drained emotionally from that. So he could be feeling a little bit of mental and physical fatigue.
Oh, I'm sure. That's very well said, my friend. I do believe you're probably right on the money there. And Sexy probably riding high on adrenaline at the moment. I mean, being up 2-0 over a gamer like Complexity RSVP in a best-of-5 series. I mean, that's just gigantically huge. And so, yeah, we're going to see what he's got in store for us, going straight up to factory now after his first barracks. No bunker yet. Doesn't feel like he needs it. But we see the early pressure from RSVP. He's chrono boosted out the first Zealot and the first Stalker. He's even got a probe up there, so he could throw down a pylon if he chooses to do so. Warp gate research about a quarter of the way done. Now the bunker going to go down. That's a little bit late, though. So he's going to have to try and deal with this as best he can with just a handful of Marines. 5 Marines now trying to deal with this. And this is such a good play. I love seeing Protoss players do this against the Terran. Just one Stalker and one Zealot can really apply so much pressure and make things so difficult. But that's really got to change as soon as this bunker completes. So RSVP either needs to do what he's going to do now or walk on back home. And now a Hellion is in the mix. Bad rally point. Well, no, I guess he's just going to rally on past it. Says, hey, it's fine, bro. Don't worry about it.
Drive on, hit and run.
Exactly. So the bunker does complete now, so this is going to effectively shut down any small unit harassment RSVP had in store for Sexy. And this Hellion's going to get a good look. He sees the Nexus, he sees a probe and a Stalker hanging out at the ramp, going to prevent him from getting up there. And yes, he is going to get one probe. So just a very effective little scout Hellion here. Didn't care for it to take some damage because all he wanted was to spend 100 minerals and get an idea of what his opponent was up to.
Have a fast-moving scout unit right there. That's exactly what he got. He's looping back around now, and now his escape is being cut off now by a Zealot and a Stalker. They're trying to find it, and yeah, that's very smart. He's got his own little blockade going there, and there it is, the little blockade runner just moving himself up, squirting at the Zealot. But unfortunately, that Stalker's going to come in just in time to scare it all the way away, and he's going to see that coming right for him. So he's just going to drive around with it, and really, but you might as well just, drive around just a little bit.
Yeah, see what you can see.
You're out and about. See what you can see.
Yeah,
drive around a little bit.
It's out looking for a little fun. George Carlin
cruising
reference.
The strip.
Yep, little George Carlin reference. Those who remember that stand-up he did. I'm out looking for a little fun. But Banshee now on the map, so it looks like Sexy, he's not expanding. Looks like he wants to put together another push like he did before, just rely on tanks, siege tech, a Raven PDD or two, and no siege tech on the way yet. I don't know if that's a mistake or if he meant to do that. He needs to get that done ASAP. That's really the determining factor here. If he's going to put together a push to try and handle a quick Nexus out of RSVP, he needs siege. So still no siege tech down. There it goes. Nope, no, that's actually just another tank he's building. Looks like he doesn't even want it. He's just going to push and try to do the damage with tanks alone.
Oh yeah, it looks like Sexy moved down that Banshee, tried to do a little harassment, but there's 2 Stalkers just camped out right there. He was barely able to dent the shield of those probes. He was driven away pretty quickly. Well, did some significant damage to it.
Oh yeah, the siege tech comes down very late now though, and that's not a terribly long upgrade. It can get up pretty quickly, but right about now is when I would think he would want it. Though he does need to build energy on the Raven, so I guess the timing of it's probably going to be decent. But this is a push very similar to what we used to see out of who was it that tore through one of our King of the Hills using this forever?
That was Spetsnaz.
Yeah, Spetsnaz, who basically won at the time. He won the most games in the history of the IG King of the Hill events. He managed to win 9 games in a row. So no, he won 8 games in a row. Then that was bested. Then of course, who was it that went the whole way? One
TQ Sanis.
Yeah, TQ Sanis went the entire way, 1 out. He was in game 1 and won from beginning to end. Ended up winning 10 matches, and he would have won more, I'm sure, except that every 4 games in a King of the Hill would give our players a little bit of a break, a little bit of a breather. So RSVP's got a little ball together here. He's got a handful of Zealots, and a Mortal, and a Sentry, but that's not going to be able to deal too well with tanks, Marines, and now a Raven with point defense drone, and now these Stalkers are going to be nullified almost entirely. Look how close those tanks are sieged up now. He's going to, so long as he can cover his backside, that's what he's got to worry about. Here we go. The tanks target firing down the Immortal first. The Zealots getting in close, though. Looks like they're going to be able to clean up some of this. The probes are pulled, and they actually get a real good surround here on those tanks, and wow, looks like RSVP has managed to deal with this pretty impressively, Red Mage.
Oh, he did a great job there, AC. Just completely brought everything. He brought the house, so to speak, just to defend it. And those two Banshee chicks are about to be toast. The PDD finishes up, and these Stalkers are still chasing that one away with its barely minimal. I believe it's 20 hit points. Yeah, 20 hit points right there. It's just completely scared that army away, and it was great using those probes to kind of shield from the bombardment there by the siege tank. Those zealots moved in and just wrapped everything up really well. So this was a very, very good push. And now the shoe is on RSVP's foot, and he's going to be able to hold the bottom of that ramp for quite a while, it looks like.
Well, to be honest, at this point, Sexy may as well just go ahead and GG. He is hopelessly behind in Harvester count. And when I say hopelessly, I mean hopelessly. 23 to 45. No expansion even in production at this point. And, yeah, he's basically run out of gas. As soon as he pushes out and gets crushed one more time, that's going to be the GG. But at this point, he's just kind of delaying the inevitable. I don't think there's a whole lot he can do to really try to pull back even here.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, my headset fell off.
You'll have that from time to time.
I tried to turn my head on the thing, and the cord caught, so I yanked it off my head. So
right.
Sorry about that. Yeah, but all the kind of weird stuff that happens while you're doing live casting, isn't that amazing?
Oh yeah, it's so much fun. But
oh yeah. Now we see that he's going to be Johnny on the spot here. He's going to go ahead and take down those destructible rocks, go for that expansion, warping in more and more units. He's definitely looking to take it, not only in an economic imbalance here, but also an army up here. We're going with that Colossus. So.
Well, again, it's like I said, Sexy is so far out of things right now. I mean, unless it's just a very, very bad controller planning here on the part of our SCP. All right, I like this. If you're going to go all in, pull them all. You may as well. Pulling all the SCVs, he's going to move out now with a handful of Banshees, a few tanks, and a good number of Marines. And he's going to have to make it count. This is pretty much all he has left in the tank. And actually, RSVP he's been tacking on units, but taking that, well, no, he's just dropping a pylon down here initially, actually. So RSVP's army is not that big at the moment. He's trying to get up on tech, so he's only invested so much. Oh, he does have one Colossus out, though. That should be enough. Unless it's just very, very poorly controlled. The point defense drone's really going to be what matters here. He's got enough energy for one and one only, so that's going to be exhausted very quickly by the Stalkers. But here we go. He's going to siege up. The push comes. The Colossus begins to unload on all these Marines. The Zealot count very, very high. The SCV's trying to tank a lot of this damage, but yeah, not even going to be close, it doesn't seem. Yeah, RSVP going to clean this up pretty convincingly, and that's going to be the GG forthcoming. There it is. So RSVP takes one and brings it back to 2-1, moving into Game 4 of our IG Omega Divisional number 10, brought to you by itsgosu.com.
Unbelievable comeback right there by RSVP. That was just such a great matchup there. Wow. Cannot wait to see what is going on. Excuse me. Yeah, cannot wait to see what map he chooses next. And give me 1 second, let me show him where the map pool is.
All right, taking a shot here. And just taking a look at the chat while you get the next game set up. It's probably already on the way, knowing them. But anyway, taking a look. Let's see what's been going on in the chat. Hey, guys, once again, I'm AC. That's Red Mage JR. If you're just joining us, this is the finals of the IG Omega Divisional number 10, brought to you by itsgosu.com, by SteelSeries, and, of course, by the rest of our lovely sponsors. Make sure you check them out because they support us and they support esports. Cyberground.us, Max Integration, and Sanya Mabushi Jujutsu and Combination Goju Ryu School of Self-Defense. You can find them at sanyamabushi-goju.com. So, oh, wow, looks like RSCP's slow on the draw this time. I'm not even getting an invite.
Well, yeah, because since it was You're So Sexy. It was his turn, and he didn't know the map pool, so he's gonna get the map pool together. We did not have a total. Please take a look at this and feel free to drool over.
Yeah, I just saw this as well. I'm taking a look at it right now. Can't wait to see it blowing it up in the big style.
Wow. That's cool. I like that.
Yep, I'm gonna pop that. I'm definitely gonna throw that into the old stream.
Make sure you accept the invite there too.
Got it. We are good, my friend. In good shape. So, and there's the first Red Mage. I'm gonna cycle through this. The cool little hat design that was thrown at us. The coolest image ever done by Thor Fem, with my gal hanging out in the center, defended by her stalwart defenders, the tanks and Thors. Then, of course, our new... By the way, we haven't mentioned this in a while. Head to itsgosu.com if you're just joining us. We just announced our acquisition of All for One Gaming. We're forming IGE, the newest team on the block in SC2 and League of Legends. and we're going to have a pretty impressive team. 10 players heading out to Anaheim. So it looks like we're going to be on Belshire Beach, Red Mage. That's going to make you a happy panda.
Oh, yeah, it makes me a completely happy panda here because I love me some Belshire Beach. It's a TVP, which is always a great match between these two competitors. It's absolutely bonkers, and I was kind of told that that TQ, you're so sexy is let me get this right here. TQ Sangpa.
Okay.
So
I don't mean to sound flippant, but okay, what's that mean to me?
Yeah. Well, no. It's just, I don't know if you're familiar with Sungpa.
Oh no, I am not.
Or not. Okay, yeah. So yeah, he's that would explain the level of awesomeness that he is, because he's a very good player. I've seen Songpa's, and I'm probably saying that name wrong too. I'm horrible with names. You guys are gonna have to forgive me. To be honest, I'm barely hanging on. I've been sick the last last 24 hours. So you guys are definitely gonna have to forgive me. That
you're the Dirk Nowitzki of the StarCraft universe. I love it. Pushing through the pain.
Pushing through it, try to be here for everybody, because I hate missing days. The one day that I did miss, I was horrible. I was so upset the whole time that I could not be playing StarCraft as opposed to interacting with the human culture face to face.
F that, man. Who wants to do that?
Who needs that?
Anyway, the probe going to make its way across the map now for RSVP. Pretty early scout. Going to pass right by the SCV, taking the other path down, going down the other hillside. And when he gets to the base, he's going to see standard stuff, nothing but a racks and gas on time, and what's soon to be, without a doubt, an orbital command. Back home for RSVP, he's already got up 1 gas, not going for that super quick 2 gas, instead going for the gateway, and almost certainly going to be followed by the cybernetics core. So yeah, very, very fun stuff. I am kind of encouraged by the fact that we're beginning to see more of this map.
Oh yeah, which is a very, very good sign right there, and can't really rule out either side at this point. RSVP coming back from a little bit of a deficit there. He does have to win the next 2 of them in a row. So that has got to be like probing into his mind that he is going to have to get 2 more wins in a row in order to do that. It looked like for a little bit he not really got lucky, but he did a great job at having the right timing to really assault Sexy. So that might be a trick on this map, because Belshire Beach, I don't know how much they've played on. I know they've played on at least once in this tournament. So I don't know if they've constructed a strategy for this map or what. So we'll kind of have to see what's going to go on with that. So
absolutely. So we see the Zealot making its way across the map, chasing the SCV on back home. He wants to get back home so he can smoke the cigarette he has hanging out behind his ear. And this probe's still hanging out for RSVP as well, just trying to keep an eye and see if he could spot any kind of an expansion that's going to come out of Sexy. So very, very kind of subdued play is the word I would choose to use. Not a whole lot of early pressure as opposed to what we've seen in a lot of cases. He's not pushing too terribly hard. He's got 1 Stalker and 1 Zealot here ready again. He's going to try and pressure with this, but 2 Marauders already here. Don't know. Yes, they do have the concussive shell, so yeah, RSVP can just walk himself on back home. He's going to do nothing but waste units if he tries to push into this at the moment. So Sexy playing much more safe now on Belshire Beach.
Oh yeah, excuse me. So yeah, with the biggest thing with which I find interesting that Sexy and RSVP are doing is they're building very close to their bases.
Right.
They're not trying to seal off that choke. They're not trying to seal off any sort of
they're hiding
the center. So
RSVP's hiding a little pylon down here. If you can see over in the brush, you can barely see it if you twist the camera around. So he's looking to do some kind of trickeration. At the same time, though, it looks like Sexy's actually not using trickeration. He says, I'm just going to go push. I'm going to go push. And actually, this is going to be kind of a scary push. It's going to depend on what RSVP wants to warp out of this first round of warp gates. That's going to really make the difference. 2 SCVs are here. Actually, 5 SCVs are here, so 4 SCVs, I should say. They're going to try and get a bunker up, it looks like. So here they go, leading the way. Maybe they're going to try and tank some damage. But that concussive shell going to make this kind of tough to deal with. 1 Zealot falls almost immediately. The 2nd Zealot going to fall now. The other probe's being pulled, and it's always bad news whenever you see probes pulled, Red Mage. He's going to try. Oh, wow, what a surround. Catches all the Marauders in the middle. Are you kidding me? Look at this control out of RSVP saying, shutting it down immediately. And that's going to be so demoralizing for Sexy. That's just, oh, wow. Getting a probe surround and tased to death. Wow.
Yeah, that was absolutely embarrassing right there for those poor
On
soldiers.
back here
right
at
there.
the expansion, he's warping in stalkers off of that proxy pylon now, so he's already beginning to counter push. The rest of that army beginning to push on back up the shore here, and this might be GG. Sexy doesn't have a whole lot. Yep, there it is. So wow, RSVP in 2 very convincing games pulls the series even 2-2 as we move into the final game, the determining game of our IGO Mega Divisional number 10, brought to you by itsgosu.com.
Man, I'll tell you, this has been one heck of a tournament, even with a little bit of smaller of the field. It's been one heck of an amazing day, AC. Not only did we announce our brand new team, but we're having a great finals matchup here, and we're getting a lot of great stuff in the chat here from everybody. Unbelievable day. This is probably one of our best days ever. We have you, the community, to thank. Cannot wait to see what we churn out, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how this final match is gonna go. Are we gonna see an immediate cheese out of one? Or are we gonna see a very long macro game? Or are we gonna see what we've always seen, which is a solid mid game with a bunch of early pressure? This is gonna be a very, very interesting matchup.
Now this is going to sound sad, but I don't recall it happening. But I want to make sure that if it has happened, that we get it right, or if it hasn't, that we get it done. We have not announced the winners of the cards tonight, have we?
No, we did. It was the Master Shake, the Shake Master, the Mike Ruler,
the old schooler, right,
and it was a Thor fan, the mighty Thor fan.
Oh, good. Absolutely great, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Congratulations to them. And thanks to every one of you hanging out here with us in the Justin TV chat. I'd love to call you out by name again. But as you can see, our guys aren't screwing around, man. They want to get into the game and get rolling as soon as possible. If you're just joining us, I'm AC. That's Red Mage JR. And this is the final game in this best of 5 finals of our IGO Mega Divisional number 5, brought to you by itsgosu.com. TQ, why are you sexy, taking on Call RSVP, tied up 2-2, and everything's going to be decided here in the dunes of Shakuras Plateau. Going to be a great game, my friend.
Oh yeah, this is going to be a really great game, and of course they're a close air. This could be very, very interesting out of both sides. We could see some void ray play. We could see some early drops. We could see some sort of Banshee play out of Sexy. The options are endless on the Terran side for what you can do. But RSV is kind of down to like 1 or 2 things that they could possibly do for very, very early air harassment.
Oh yeah.
And that's one thing that I wish that Protoss kind of had. This is going to make me sound stupid, I'm sure, but I wish that they had some sort of earlier or additional error unit for
well, it's just
for
that's it's kind of the weak spot in their game in a PvT. Protoss has such an amazing Colossus death ball in the mid game. Of course, Psystorm deals with Marine Marauder medevac play, etc. So they can't be great all around, and really, but you do point out that is kind of the weak spot. It's not to say that it's ineffective or you can't do it, but to do it properly, you kind of sort of got to get Void Rays out early. You got to do something like we saw in game 2 on Metalopolis when we saw RSVP go with those proxy Void Rays. That did some damage, but unfortunately just didn't do enough damage and did not shut down Sexy quite fast enough. So. But yeah, you are right in saying that Protoss are kind of limited in PvT in that manner, but they make up for it by being extremely strong with it in PvZ. So Probe's going to get here, going to see that barracks finish up. He's going to see no gas, so that's the important thing. He's not going to see any assimilator whatsoever. He's going to be sniffing a fast expansion, and that's going to prompt him to want to get very aggressive very, very early.
Oh yeah, and pardon me. Yeah, this is this is going to be, I forget where my brain was going with what I was going to say.
Anyway, Command Center goes down for Sexy down here at the second tier. He's got 1 Marine here to defend, and we see the rally point already set from RSVP, so definitely he's not chrono boosting out the Zealot, though. That I find kind of surprising. He is staying on 1 gas, at least for the moment, and we'll see. Maybe he may just 4-gate. That wouldn't surprise me at all. Seeing the fast expansion here, but 4-gating a fast expand without gas is really kind of chancy. Still no second gas, still no warp gate tech either. So yeah, okay, now the warp gate tech is inbound. He's got a stalker on the way. Still no second gas. Still no second gas. Still no second gas. I think we're going to see a warp gate, Red Mage.
I think so too. I think we're definitely going to see a 4-gate. It's a very safe, very easy build to do, to execute, and to win with. So that might be his entire plan, because you're tied up 2-2. You've won 2 in a row.
Right.
Back-to-back wins right there. He's definitely trying to go for a third win right here. I can see it in his eyes.
Nope, he's going to expand.
Right there.
Going to expand. I saw him hanging out with only one gas, but no, instead of throwing down the 3 additional gates at 450 minerals, instead he just waits for 400 and takes his own second Nexus. So RSVP letting us down, but playing very, very solid, getting his expansion up immediately.
Yeah, probably saw that second expansion and just was like, 4-gate will do well, but not against a 2-basing Terran like that, especially when he's got that bunker up there solid with the Marines in there.
Right.
It would be a little risky at first. Now, after a couple of warp-ins might be better, but why chance it that much against a player as good as Why Are You So Sexy?
Tiki, why are you sexy? You gotta get it right.
Why are you? Oh God!
Just call him
why
sexy.
Why are you so sexy, AC? You're so sexy.
Only because I got you, ya boy. That's all. RSVP's Nexus is just about to complete, and we do see the orbital commands completed now for Sexy. So he's in good shape, and wow, he actually wants to get a little bit of aggressive, getting a little ballsy. He's going to chase this Stalker down. He's probably going to he's going to pick that Stalker off, so good instincts there out of Sexy. Just wanted to poke at the bottom of his ramp and see if there's any nonsense going on, and he got a free kill just for being active with his unit. So all you bronze, silver, gold, even plat players, take a lesson from that. If your units are chilling out, move them around, even if it's just a little bit, because sometimes you're going to get a free kill that way.
Yep, and then one free kill is one more unit you don't have to deal with immediately, and that's one more unit that they have got to reproduce. And we see 2 more gateways dropping in right now. That robotics facility churning himself out at Immortal. So we could see maybe some sort of timing push. I
don't know. It's odd to see him get up the Immortal. I'm going to guess that's anticipation of tank play, but we haven't seen that as of yet out of Sexy. The factory just about to complete. We'll be able to spot what add-on he decides to throw onto it. The stem is about 1/5 of the way done, give or take. Factory done and a reactor down. Wow, so no. Well, maybe he's probably making that reactor for the starport. He'll probably switch that over, so we're yet to see if he's going to favor tanks at any point here in the early game, but he's definitely not favoring them super, super fast, and said that he's probably going to go with a more Marine Marauder-heavy mix supported by Medivacs, one would guess. So going to be interesting to see how that matches up against an Immortal, and I won't say heavy, but an army with an Immortal in it, but now he is just about to complete back at his main. Not sure where he hit it. Yeah, back here in the corner. The robotics
back there on the right.
Well, to be honest, that the whole purpose of this Immortal, other than just being able to deal with Marauder pressure if it comes, but he may just want Sexy to see that, like if he scans or he pokes up with an SCV, because he's obviously gone out of his way to hide this robotics bay, so he's trying to keep it secret at least for a little while. And now the factory taking a look over the top of the ledge here, going to see that there's no pylons and no nonsense going on in that manner.
Oh yeah, and that's going to tell them a whole lot of stuff right there. And I've always favored the using of this hallway here, especially with Colossus or Reapers or things like that. So, with Sexy using that factory to scout, he's not going to be able to have that ability. But that would have been another cool little rush that RSVP could have done. Is gone right up to Colossus Tech, moved it into the mineral line, and just completely surprised him, and then just walked right on out.
Well, here comes a big timing push out of Sexy, and even though this looks like a small army, it's got stem. It's probably not going to have combat shield unless he really holds off, but it's got medevac support, and it's going to be pushing into a very thin army here. Just sentries, 1 Colossus, really the money unit here, but no thermal lance. So this has potential here, Red Mage. Here we go. Sexy going to use those medevacs that grant him high ground vision. The sentry's trying to trap a few, and he does. He catches about, looks like 2 Marines and a Marauder were caught right there. And that's going to force Sexy to pull back, at least for the moment. We're going to see if he's going to try and move the rest of these units up. 2 more medevacs back at home if he wants to try to use those to push. And it looks like he's done with the aggression. He's just going to walk back and hold the tower and be happy with that.
Yeah, that's kind of what it looks like right there. Yeah, I mean, if you can get that kind of vision, there's no need in pushing it too early. He is taking that 3rd base right now, and that's gonna help him make a little bit more of an economy. Getting a couple of upgrades there as well. Very, very smart. When you have a chance to move your opponent or take some map control, you either want to expand, tech up or build more unit producing structures. So
absolutely.
he's doing this, kind of, right there by the book. Honestly, that's exactly what he's going for. And with the Sexy just holding on to the middle of the map here, he's going to be able to see anything that RSVP does to try to maneuver out of his base a little bit. A maneuver by him. Oh, nice split right here.
All right, the Colossus is going to come over the top. No Viking's going to get any shots off. This is going to force Sexy to pull back, at least for the moment. Scan goes down just so he can see how big this army is. And it's really not that large. He could probably... Nope, he's not going to try and engage. He's actually going to stem to get away and fall back. He could be in a little bit of trouble. He feels like he's going to be in trouble. The Colossus count very small, but it could be just enough. The Vikings coming in. They're going to try and engage from long range. One Marauder getting very brave, firing over the edge of the cliff. And looks like RSVP still wants to hold a little bit longer before he tries to make this push. And Sexy's got to be hoping he's not going to be clever. Yeah, look at him. He's already preemptively moving the command center, assuming that RSVP is going to push up and try to see if there's a third there. But actually not going to happen, doing that a little bit too early. But the Colossi beginning to go to work now on that bunker. And a few Marauders being baited out. Ooh, one makes it back, the other does not. The Stalker's kind of trying to get into a good position here. There's no blink tech or anything like that. Another Colossus on the way, just now getting the +1 to weapons. Maybe a little bit of a misstep there by RSVP. Way delayed on that. But here we go. Looks like he's kind of wanting the push. That's a decent level of Marines and Marauders, though. A couple of force fields go off. Don't trap anything. And the Colossus are continuing to take a little bit of damage. One very close to dying, down to just 32 hit points. He's going to have to be very careful with it. Oh, he's going to lose it almost. No, he target fired the wrong one. So that one's going to hang around just for a little bit longer. Still just this cat and mouse game going on. He manages to take out that poor observer who got caught in the middle of that scan. So... And we see the command center, by the way, at the northern part of the map, being very active. Scout command center, always a good play in the mid, and in the game 5 of the finals. But oh wow, here we go. He's going to stem down the ramp. He wants to try and engage now. He feels he's got the upper hand. Here we go. Good arc around here, right here. The good Viking count's going to be able to go to work here on these Colossus. The Colossus just melting, but the medevacs and the Marines, the Marauders and the Marines melting to the fire of the Colossus as well, being forced back into the shadow of his expansion command center now. The Viking count remaining pretty high, but I'd call that about an even trade. Now he's going to move back out with the Vikings, and he does pick off that other Colossus. So good decision making there by Sexy, but so much cat and mouse here, Red Mage.
Oh yeah, it looked like for a minute there that RCP was going to try to do a nice cliffwalker maneuver there with those Colossi, but managed to turn it around just in time to go ahead for to combat that army that was pushing down the ramp. But right now, Sexy is starting to move out a little bit more, taking out that proxy pylon just outside. That probe, cowering for its life, is seen and blasted apart as quickly as possible. Now they're going to hit that Zelnaga Tower on their way to see more and more of nothingness out of RSVP on the board. And we see that scouting command center now just kind of looping around some more. I don't know if I want to take a command center or not. I'll see about it.
Just taking it easy, man.
Just taking it easy. Those things would be detrimental if you were able to lift off planetary fortresses. That would just be absolutely obnoxious.
Yeah, that's a bit imba. I would say that's a bit imba. Oh, he almost caught those probes in the middle of a probe transfer, but now the cat barks at the dog. Sexy pointing Sexy moving his way now into the bottom of RSVP's expansion. Going to pick off this pylon up here on the upper tier. The Vikings being very active, trying to get out in front and see if they can pick off any Colossus that are not being handled properly. But it looks like RSVP's dug in pretty well. The sentry's especially going to offer him an advantage. Oh, he's going to move down and engage. So the Zealots have the leg charge. They're going to move down. The blink is just now getting done, though, so no blink on the Stalkers. Good arc around here by Sexy. He's trying to get his units in as good a position as possible to avoid these force fields. Now he's going to chase RSVP back into his base. The Marauder count's still very high. That's going to do so well against this Stalker ball. And as it just literally melts in front of him, he stems and runs right up into the engagement. Zealots fighting to fight their way ahead. The Vikings go into town on this last Colossus. It's down into the orange, down into the red, down it goes. And the Marauders continuing to just push, and it looks like RSVP might be in trouble, Red Mage. 86 supply to 124. Most of that is probes.
Yeah, and that's going to be detrimental right there. More and more Marauders streaming in from the bases right there. Now those Vikings are just waiting for more and more things to pop. that Colossus getting ready to pop right out of there. I think those Vikings are
Oh,
go
target fires is down. Target fire is down the robotics facility. No Colossus. Zealot's coming in to do what they can. Needs to pull this army back. And the probes get this around from the back. So he's doing everything he can to stay relevant in this game. The Vikings land to try to deal with this. He loads up the Marauders and pulls them back. Amazing control here by Sexy. Going to pull them all the way back and get out of that jam. Going to unload them right at the bottom of the ramp and gear up for another push. I don't know that RSVP can hold on any longer, Red Mage.
I don't think so either. As soon as these last line of reinforcements really get there, all the healing is done and up, and they're going back in for round number 2, and this is going to be very, very ugly.
Here we go. The Vikings leading the way once again. They see there's no Colossus on the field. The Marauders taking out all of the production facilities of RSVP. All the probes and all the Zealots pulled all the way to the back. Going to try and make one last stand here. In march the 300. Chasing the Marauders all the way back to the ramp. He's going to be able to clean this up. Force fields go down, but I don't think it matters. There it is. The GG well played from Call RSVP. So TQYRU Sexy wins IG Omega Divisional number 10. Brought to you by itsgosu.com.
Wow, what a great ending right there to such a fantastic series of games. Unbelievable, AC. That was unbelievable.
Yes.
That is the only words I can completely say. I want to thank everybody again for joining us live, joining us in the It's Gosu chat here in Battle.net, also on JustinTV/Twitch TV. And want to thank all the competitors for coming out and playing. Always a pleasure to have you. We hope to see you guys back next week.
Absolutely, guys. It's been a pleasure. I'm AC. That's Mage JR, and this has been the IG Omega Divisional number 10, brought to you by itsgosu.com, and of course brought to you by our lead sponsor, SteelSeries, by Cyberground.us, by Max Integration, and by San Yamabushi Jujutsu and Combination Goju Ryu School of Self-Defense. Check them out online at sanyamabushi-goju.com. The music you've been hearing all night, Ronald Jinkies and Machina Supremacy. Check them out online. And listen to the opening song, if you wish. You can find that at halotopic.newgrounds.com. That's Battle by Halotopic. And again, you can find him at halotopic.newgrounds.com. And our big announcement, the big news of the day, if you haven't read about it yet, you need to be reading about it right friggin' now. It's Gosu Esports has been officially announced and founded after an acquisition of All for One Gaming. We're going to be sending 10 people to MLG Anaheim. Going to be an absolute blast, and we hope to see you there. Red Mage, I'm about to have a heart attack, man. That was one of the best final games we've had for any of our events.
Oh, that was so amazing right there. Coming up from a 2-down deficit right there, RSB pulled his heart into that game, and man, that was crazy.
It's brutal.
Unbelievably brutal right there. My goodness. And thank you everybody for all the great pictures and promotional items and all the great ideas and stuff like that you guys have. You guys are an unbelievable think tank. Thank you all very, very much. And again, we want to thank Mr. Mini-Me, Voss, SKS Dark for all the work in the background. And again, I want to thank Shake Master for my very cool Red Mage-oriented thing, and also Thor fan. And everybody else that for some reason, my head hurts real bad, so I can't give anybody else's name. So thank you guys very much. I'm going to get off the phone.
Listen, it's you. Yeah, thanks so much, guys. It's been a pleasure. We will see you again. Let's see, since we enter our faction wars, aren't we making up an event tomorrow night?
Yes, we're making up the Omega Cup that was
May.
From May. Yes.
Yep. So we'll see you here tomorrow night, guys. I'm AC. That's Red Mage JR. It's been a pleasure. We'll see you soon. Have a good night.